If you have neighbors and among your neighbors, most are your enemies, and one is good with you, or good to you, or at least looks like he is, and all of a sudden you decide to paint your backyard color red. You only have one neighbor that comes to your house, okay? And surprisingly, as you go to the street, the child of the neighbor that doesn't like you tells your child, "Oh, I know, you're going red now, okay? You guys have a red backyard. We know everything." And your child comes to you and say, "Daddy, the child of the neighbor told me that they know what we're up to. They know our backyard is red." What's going to go through your mind? You only have one neighbor that comes to your backyard because you trust him. Will you still trust him? Question mark. Will you still trust a neighbor that has access to your backyard? I'm trying to make sure that audio is going through. You will question the presence, right? Because that becomes a security concern. Because you know the neighbors don't like you very much. They will do anything to destroy you. You know, people are very capable of many things. Now, if you have somebody that you seemingly trust and you allow to your backyard, giving information about your personal life, isn't that a danger? That's a danger, right? Now, also people talk about democracy. They say many African countries are not democratic, okay? They have dictatorship. Are you a believer of full-fledged democracy? Or do you think there should be a level of control when it comes to democracy? I mean, you don't allow democracy in your house, right? If you got children, you allow them to be democratic or have democracy in the house, come back home when they want. That's democracy. You may have children that are older than 18 years. Would you let them come home after 11 p.m.? I mean, look, I was 18, staying at my father's house. I wasn't allowed to come after 9 p.m. because I lived in his house. You don't allow the neighbor to come and put their feet on the table. I mean, even I couldn't put the feet on the table in my own house whilst my father was in the lounge. I could allow myself to do it when daddy wasn't around, but as soon as my father was in around, we knew who the boss was. So you can't really have democracy even in your own home. People talk about freedom of speech. Do you speak to your mom anyhow? No, you don't. You have limitations. I understand it's a matter of culture, but amongst black people in general, I'm sorry to put it that way, I'm not trying to be racialist, you don't speak to your mom anyhow because they're probably going to slap your face. You know that it goes. Thank you very much for stopping by. You're appreciated. What's up, everybody? I'm Zack. Zack is my name. This is your first time. You're very welcome. We appreciate you. We want you here. Hey, we want you to stay. Click on the button, subscribe so you can see each other every single day. We come here every single day. Now, Burkina Faso has arrested French nationals in Burkina Faso accused of espionage. Yes, 2 French nationals and many other people. There was among them Burkinabe people, Senegalese, and Malians accused of espionage. Now, let's focus on the French people. Who are these people? They are part of an organization named INSO, okay? And this organization worked in Burkina Faso and many other countries in Africa. They've been accused of providing sensitive information about Burkina Faso's army to foreigners. INSO stands for International NGO Safety Organization. It's obviously an NGO based in The Hague, in Netherlands. You see the Netherlands on the map, very far. And this organization provides security analysis to NGOs operating in conflict zone. So this INSO organization goes to conflict zone, especially in Africa, and provides security analysis and data to NGOs that come to operate in Africa. In other words, many NGOs come to Africa in conflict zone, providing help, quote unquote, okay? Matter of fact, they come to loot and many other things. Anyway, let's stick on track. They provide help. But this INSO organization provides them with information on how to navigate conflict zone. Now, why are they arrested? Are they legal? Yes, they are legal. Now, if they are legal, you're probably asking yourself a question to know if they are legal. Why are they arrested then? Well, they've been arrested because they were told by Burkina Faso on the 21st of July to stop operations. Why? Because Burkina Faso said they were providing information that are very sensitive. Remember, this is Burkina Faso on the map. The country is going through a lot right now. There's terrorism and war happening. So when you come as an organization such as INSO and you gather information. This is basically intelligence information and military information, and you're providing to a third party. Are you not putting the security of the country's army at danger? Question mark.
The investigations revealed that INESO, with the help of some of our compatriots, was able to meticulously record the routes, movements, and composition of military and supply convoys to the cities without keeping this information secret in the interest of national defense. They systematically cataloged the military resources deployed to secure a given convoy. By gathering information on the number of personnel, vehicles, heavy weapons, motorcycles, etc.
They were told to stop because who are you providing the information from? Let's go back a little bit. Burkina Faso is riddled by terrorists. Where does the terrorism come from? Well, Mali has accused France of being part of the people that are financing these terrorists. Why would France do so? Well, Mali says the reason why France do so, or does so, sorry for my English, is because France wants to look like it is helpful. In other words, I'm going to create terrorism in your country. I'm going to finance them, then provide you with help. Now, if you want my help as a strong army in the world, you're going to have to pay me for that. Now, number one, you're going to pay me for that. Number two, I'm going to access your resources by being in your country and emphasize my presence. So I'm hitting three birds at the same time. Now, Burkina Faso has kicked out France out of the country. Same as Mali on the map, Niger on the map, and Burkina Faso. The three countries are now brothers. They're the only African brother country in Africa. They are the only brothers in Africa. I'm just being honest with you. Because brotherhood has nothing to do with skin color. Sorry, fellas. Let's nobody lie to you. My brother. No. Brotherhood is proven. You need to prove me you're my brother. Don't tell me you're my brother. I don't know that. Your own brother from your mother's stomach doesn't call you brother, does he? He doesn't call you brother. In most cases, they don't call you brother, but they show you brotherhood through actions. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are brothers. They're the only brothers in Africa right now. Why? Because when these countries here, they call the ECOWAS are West African countries, many of them come together, lie to each other. They were just about to attack this country, Niger, because Niger had changed the government without going through elections. These countries say we're going to go and start a war to reverse what you just done.
I tell you, we are ready to go anytime the order is given. The D-Day is also decided, which we are not going to disclose. There will be no more meetings of the chiefs of defense staff. If there will be, it will be probably in the course of the operation if there is the need to adjust the operation. This is the second extraordinary meeting and the final meeting before deployment.
Mali and Burkina Faso say, if you dare put your foot in Niger's soil, we are going to war.
We hereby warn that any military intervention against Niger is tantamount to a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali.
That is brotherhood. Anyway, let's go back on track. Now, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso kicked out France. France is gone. France is angry. Now, Mali has accused France of sponsoring terrorists and terrorism group in the Sahel. Now, Burkina Faso is right now fighting against terrorist group. And you have an organization named INSO that is based in Hague, in Netherlands, gathering information in Burkina Faso about the military, about the formation and sending it to third party, supposedly for NGOs. Now, let's find out who sponsors INSO. Because you got to find out, who sponsors them? We give them money. They must have some sort of a buyer or sponsorship. Okay, well, let's find out. You have US aid. That's America. United States of America. Send them money. Your European Union, send them money. Are you telling me these companies and countries are sending money for Africans? I don't know about that. We have the United Kingdom that send money to INSO for sponsorship and finance. Why? We have the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs that also sends money to INSO as a buyer, okay, with the goal of protecting NGOs that come to Africa in conflict zone. Now, why do they do that for these NGOs? To reduce risk for humanitarian workers. So they basically give you information so your NGO employees don't get unalive in conflict zone. Number 2, to improve interagency coordination. Basically, to allow NGOs operating in Africa to communicate and act with each other with no difficulty. Number 3, to facilitate humanitarian access in high-risk zones. Now, I don't know why Europeans feel like they need to help Africans in their problems. Like, oh, how about not creating problems in the first place, and let Africans deal with things? I know Africans have their own part, their own role to play, because we're not innocent. We could do so much more into helping each other, into supporting one another, like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are doing. They now have one army. You know that? Yeah. In the borders, they're fighting terrorists through the borders. If the terrorists cross on this side, they beat him. If you go down, why can't Africans do the same? I mean, some people have spoken about Africa having one army. How about that? I know a lot of people don't like that, okay, because they feel like, my country, I can't have those people in my country. No, we do understand some people do bad things in their countries. We know some people from some side of Africa, they do drugs and human trafficking and stuff. I mean, how about we put them in jail? Or let's exclude them and include everybody else. How about that? We're going to stop everybody else from moving forward because a bunch of people don't want to think like everybody else because they think they're superior or they think they want to do drugs and stuff. Africa has to move forward. Europeans are working together. Okay, America is not one country. It's many little small countries coming together. That's why it's so powerful. And the only reason why we need to come together is because we have to come together. Because trust me, the government of America right now is trying to show everybody that they control the world. And whether you like it or not, nobody's favorite to these countries. Unless you bow down to them, unless you accept refugees that are sent out, these people that they're kicking out of the United States of America. If you accept them, all these criminals in your country, then they see you at a good light. Or you pay money like Kenya is paying $179,000 to one person. $179,000 is being paid to one person in the United States of America to lobby for Kenya. One person is receiving $179,000 to lobby for Kenya. Meanwhile, in Kenya, many doctors have no good salaries. They've been marching in the street asking for help. But they're paying $179,000 for America so that the United States of America can see them in a good light. This man right here is getting $179,000. Why? Because you need American support. How about you support each other as brothers so you can move forward? Do you think Burkina Faso has done wrong by arresting these people who have been operating illegally in the country after they were told in July to stop operations? They were told not to do these reconnaissances, gathering all these sensitive informations anymore because the country is at war. They continued, okay, in spite of those advertisements. Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. Africa have to move forward. Okay, we need to love each other and accept one another. We need to stop pointing fingers at each other. If we have a bunch of people that are behaving badly, misbehaving, put them to the side. We don't need it. They can go create their own country by themselves or create their own community. For the rest of the good Africans, we need to come together, whether it's Africans or our brothers from all over the world. God bless.